why are your visualizations not working? You are picturing what you want in your mind, you're getting there, you're even maybe trying to, imagine what you could sense and smell and see and all of that. And yet you're not really getting any kind of results or change based on this continual visualization of what you want. And the important thing to acknowledge is that visualization alone, it's not the actual thing that makes the difference. Your subconscious mind is what you want to impress, right? And it is impressed by images, but the images are less literal and more about the image of who you are within yourself. So maybe that's a little vague, but if I can say it very simply, you communicate to your subconscious mind through your state of being. So how you feel, it's not about the emotions you're having, it's about how you feel in who you are. How do you feel? How are you holding yourself? Like, it's not, I always say, it's like not like emojis, right? Those emojis where it's like a happy face or an angry face or whatever. Those like emotions are not what we're communicating to our subconscious mind. Those are manifestations from our subconscious mind. And those are things we can kind of like play around with by using our thoughts to shift our emotions. But when we're teaching our subconscious mind what we want and using visualization, it's the state of being that we conjure. So you can't really create an emoji that really says like, I feel empowered. I feel incredible. I feel so confident. I feel secure. Like, what does that look like as an emoji or an emotion? It's beyond that, right? It's a state of being. So you don't have to have a label or name for the state of being that you get in. It is kind of a bit nebulous when you're visualizing. It's just, you feel good. You feel, I would say empowered is often a word. Confident, secure, they all kind of fit. But it's going to be different for you. You're just going to notice how you feel in your body differently. And so it's not about running a movie in your mind, right? A lot of the time we think we got to visualize, we have to create this whole scenario. We're talking to people, they're talking to us, we're hearing these words, we're, getting into this whole, experience. That's all, those suggestions of how to do it are all to help you get into the state of being and make it feel real for you. Just note that when you try to do that, sometimes you get very, very in your conscious thinking, analytical mind. You're like, oh, what about this? And what about that? And I've got to create this exact scenario. And like, and then you're just up here thinking. That's not being in your body, right? And even when you get into it and you start feeling overwhelming emotions like, oh my God, I finally have this thing. Maybe you're crying. Maybe you're just feeling so elated. Like, I can't believe this is happening. That's not very authentic to the reality of you being the person who has that thing. Someone, who has, the love of their life isn't going to go home crying every day, being like, I can't believe I have you. This is so profound. Like, and I'm not mocking, but it's just different than, how we feel about it from the state of not having it, right? So once you actually have it, who are you? How do you feel in your body? That's the visualization that you want to conjure. And like I said, like it's not like a movie that you're playing out this big elaborate scene, because what's actually happening in that's a fantasy. That's a daydream. Okay? We want to be it now. So it doesn't matter if you view it as the third person or the first person, or, those things are they're just minor details. It's what works for you, what images. Maybe it's just a flash of something. Maybe it's just like completely unrelated. Maybe it's just you looking out your window at a beautiful scenery or something, but it calls this feeling of, I have what I want. I'm in that relationship, if that's the example. I feel confident. I feel secure. I feel loved. How does that feel for me? It feels good. I feel like powerful. I feel safe. right? And it's just, you don't have to say those words. I'm just kind of giving that example so that you can understand it's not about this overwhelming emotion flood of, emoji emotions going through your body. It's simply about who are you. So your visualizations may not be working because you're actually keeping them up here, over analyzing as you're doing it. Even if you are relaxing into, a meditative state, and then you're kind of like pulling them up and you pull yourself out of it, right? And state akin to sleep as well. It's the same thing. It's a very short window of being in a hypnotic state, a theta brainwave state. But if you're just kind of running around trying to come up with things, you're not getting into the feeling state. So your subconscious mind isn't really getting the message very well. Okay. So your next time that you decide to visualize, just take a little bit of weight off. You don't need to picture anything specific. You don't need to get elaborate about anything. Maybe just in your mind before you begin, think of something, a flash of a thing that's going to help you feel a certain way. Or for me, I often don't see very many images. I'm more of a wordy person. So my visualization is maybe just saying a few words, seeing a few flashes of scenes, and then feeling it and just pausing to feel it. And then maybe another image pops in mind and you just go back to that feeling. So however you're visualizing, just make sure you're tuning your focus into the feeling and shifting around until you feel like, I have it, this is natural, and embody that. Now I've created a Manifest Your Dream Life hypnosis, which is designed to do just that. So if you want to download that, $27 on my website. Otherwise, I'm wishing you all the very best. Take care.